ChatGPT is getting crossed out by a new AI tool, and creators are starting to notice. For years, ChatGPT has been the king of AI writing. YouTubers, bloggers, and businesses have used it to create scripts, ideas, and content in minutes. But now powerful competitors like Claude and Google Gemini are entering the race, and some people believe they can write better, more natural scripts than ChatGPT. So the big question is, has ChatGPT finally been beaten? Or is it still the best AI writer in 2026? Let's find out. What is this new AI? Before jumping into the comparison, let me quickly explain what this AI actually is. It is called Claude, made by a company called Anthropic. Anthropic was founded by several people who used to work at OpenAI, so these are experienced people who know what they are doing. Claude has been gaining attention for a while, but recently a lot of content creators started noticing it handles writing tasks differently from ChatGPT. It does not just throw a generic answer at you. It tries to match tone, structure, and context in a way that feels more intentional. The version most people are testing right now is Claude Sonnet, which sits in the middle of their lineup. It is fast, capable, and accessible. The real question is not whether it looks good in tech reviews. The question is whether it can actually beat ChatGPT when writing a YouTube script. That is what this video is about. The test I ran. Here is how I set up the test so you can replicate it yourself. I picked 3 script topics with different styles. One was a tutorial, one was an opinion piece, and the third was a trending tech news topic. I gave both ChatGPT and Claude the exact same prompt for each one. Same instructions, same character count, same tone, same format requirements. Then I judged each output on 5 things. How fast each one got to the point in the intro. How natural the language sounded when read out loud. How well it followed the structure I asked for. Whether it felt like a real person talking on camera. And how much editing it needed before I could actually film with it. I did not adjust or cherry-pick responses. Whatever came out first is what I judged. No adjustments, no second chances. Chat results. ChatGPT performed exactly the way most people already expect it to. It is consistent, structured, and fast. When I gave it the tutorial topic, it came back with a clean, logical outline and hit all the main points without going off track. The language was clear and readable. But there were moments where it felt a little too polished. Almost like reading a company training document instead of listening to a real person talk on camera. The intro especially felt like something most YouTube viewers have heard hundreds of times already. A broad opening statement, a careful setup of the topic, and then a slow ease into the actual content. That works technically, but it does not grab someone who is deciding in the first few seconds whether to keep watching or click away. On the opinion piece, ChatGPT played things safe. It gave balanced viewpoints and represented multiple perspectives, which sounds fair, but is the wrong move when the goal is to take a stand and get viewers commenting. It also used several phrases throughout that I always cut, because they make scripts sound AI-generated. Things like, "it is worth noting," or "in conclusion." Small issues alone, but together, they consistently make the output feel robotic when you hear it played back. Claude results. Claude genuinely surprised me. On the tutorial topic, the structure was just as clean as ChatGPT, but the phrasing felt much closer to how someone actually talks in front of the camera. It used shorter, punchier sentences in the right moments, which makes a real difference when reading a script out loud on a shoot day. The pacing felt better right away and needed much less adjustment before it was usable. On the opinion piece, Claude was willing to take a much clearer stance. It did not hedge or soften things the same way. When I asked it to write something that would actually get viewers to react and comment, it delivered that energy inside the script itself. The strongest part of every Claude output was the intro. Instead of opening with a wide, cautious setup, it opened with a direct question or a very specific statement that made me want to immediately keep reading. That is exactly what any YouTube script needs. The first few seconds either earn the viewer or lose them, and Claude seemed to already know that goal without the prompt needing to be rewritten. The transitions between sections were also smoother. The script did not feel like disconnected chunks put together by an algorithm. It flowed more like a continuous thought from start to finish, which is much easier to deliver on camera in a way that feels real, where chat still wins. To be honest, ChatGPT still has some real advantages. If you need a script covering a technical topic where accuracy and detail actually matter, ChatGPT tends to be far more thorough and precise. It does not leave out important points or oversimplify things that should not be. It also gives a very predictable structure, which is useful when you already have a template in mind and just need it filled in fast. For people just getting started with AI writing tools who do not yet want to learn the nuances of prompting, ChatGPT feels safer and more consistent. You always know roughly what you are going to get before you even read the output. ChatGPT is also very good at handling follow-up edits. If you ask it to shorten something, adjust the pacing, or shift the energy, it responds to that feedback precisely and quickly. That kind of responsiveness is very useful when you are deep in a revision session, where Claude pulls ahead. Claude pulls ahead when your priority is writing something that genuinely sounds like a real person and not an AI approximating one. If you create YouTube content and care about how natural the script feels when delivered on camera, Claude consistently gives you a better starting point with less to clean up before you film. It also handles creative framing and storytelling structure better in most cases. When I asked it to open a video in a way that grabs viewer attention immediately, it delivered options that actually worked without needing major rewrites. The scripts had better natural rhythm built in from the start, and the intros were sharper and more specific. For creators who want to spend less time fixing a script and more time filming and editing, that difference adds up to real hours saved every week. Claude also reliably avoids the filler language that makes AI scripts feel obvious to experienced viewers. It writes more directly, more confidently, and more like a creator who knows their audience. So which one actually wins? The honest answer is that it depends on what you need. If you want detailed, factually strong, information-dense scripts, ChatGPT is still an excellent choice. But if your focus is specifically on YouTube scripts that sound like how a real creator speaks on camera, Claude is absolutely worth trying. After running this comparison, I now use Claude as my first draft tool for scripts and bring in ChatGPT when I need more depth or technical precision on specific sections. Using both tools together in a combined workflow is genuinely the most effective system I have found. So, can a new AI really beat ChatGPT at writing scripts? The truth is, each tool has its strengths. Claude is known for natural and detailed writing, while Google Gemini focuses on deep integration with Google's ecosystem. But one thing is certain, the AI race is moving faster than ever, and the tools creators use today may look very different tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos about AI tools, technology, and the future of content creation.